Okay, hello everyone. This is Coach Ruffley, and we're going to get started on our World War One notes, part two. Hence, right there, got the title. If you want to add these to your other notes, or if you want to just be able to come back to this, I'm going to leave the option up to you. But last time we talked, we went over a slideshow, and they talked about the 5 key reasons for the war, and we used a mnemonic device. Now, remember, a mnemonic device is when you use the first letter of every word and it creates a new word. So our new word was mania. And mania, each letter stands for something that would be a key reason for World War One. And so the M stood for militarism, A stood for alliances, N stood for nationalism, I imperialism, and A was assassination. So with that, you have other notes that will go more in depth in those, but we need to remember those 5 key reasons to help us understand this war that we're beginning to get into. So the 5 key reasons help build the tension between all the European countries. It's kind of like the wood, like we talked about, and then you come along, and that wood is starting to get gasoline soaked, and so when Gavrilo Princeps decided to assassinate Archduke Franz Ferdinand, that's the actual spark that ignites it all, and all the countries come into war. Now, the thing about it is, go back up here, the reason that all these countries get into war is because of that A right there in Mania. The whole idea that of an alliance, because we have to remember an alliance with a person or a country, they are agreeing to help you when things get crazy, when you need that help. And that's what all these other countries did when Serbia killed a Austria-Hungarian archduke. They come to the other countries come to the aid of Austria-Hungary. Countries come to the aid of Serbia, and we have the beginning of a war. So in 1914, when the Archduke is killed, we see the beginnings of World War One, and they are set. So let's not forget that beginning year, 1914. So Germany, I guess you would say, would be kind of the key Triple Alliance leader, kind of the main one. They thought the war would not last long. And so this is kind of where our second part starts. The second part of our notes begin today. So you definitely want to pay attention to these new ideas. But the leader of Germany at the time, I'm not going to get into his name right now, but the Kaiser, where we call our leading man or woman, if we ever elect one, president, Germany called theirs the Kaiser. He is the German leader. He said that, or he didn't believe that it would last very long. He said that soldiers would be home before the leaves had fallen off the trees, which is a very bold statement, and one saying that the war was not going to last very long, and that his soldiers and his army was really that good. So definitely a bold statement, and little did he know that this was just the beginning, that this war would last for 4 long years, 1914 to 1918. And I definitely want you to remember that so that you have an idea of when this time period was, because this will be new things will be coming after the war that we will need to remember, and we kind of want to know when the war actually occurred. So, after the initial push by the Germans to destroy France, Russia, and Britain, remember this is the Triple Entente, you have a stalemate. I'm going to let you look up what stalemate means. Hopefully, you can figure that out, maybe from reading and listening. But make sure you know also what 3 main countries were in the Triple Alliance and the Triple Entente. These are words right here that we talked about on Monday or Tuesday, if this is a B Day class. But the Triple Alliance and the Triple Entente were those two alliances that would basically come to a stalemate. And because of that, we see the creation of trench warfare, which is a new type of warfare that had not been seen before. And it is definitely something that is totally new and definitely brings about a ton of destruction to the countries that are involved. Trench warfare was just one of the new things that would show up on the scene during World War One. That would devastate both sides, not just one side, but both. And some of these other items were poison gas, tanks, machine guns, airplanes, new artillery weapons, flamethrowers, which, if you have watched any Quentin Tarantino movies here lately, which I don't know if you technically should be, but nonetheless, that has become one of his favorite weapons in his movies because of the destruction that it brings about. Um, but it's something that occurs here in World War One. These new items would go about making sure that destruction would occur on both sides, and they were definitely weapons that would cause a lot of grief for both. Really, no matter what side you were fighting on. And so, this is what we are going to spend the rest of the period working on, investigating these weapons, and then you're going to create a slideshow to show me your findings, what you find out about these new weapons. And so that's what you're going to do is go to the classroom and look for that assignment that is called slideshow technology in World War One. And you're going to click on that, and you are going to begin investigating what you find out about these weapons on, who made them, what were they made for, things like that. So take some time. Make sure you are clear on your notes, and then once you are that, begin getting into your assignment and working on your research and picking your weapon that you want to do a little bit more research on. Got any questions? Please let me know. I'll be around to help. Do your best, and good luck. We will see you when you are finished.